guys, today it is nasty, it's rainy, we're getting ready to finally winterize this boat. The best thing about an outboard is you're not under a critical time crunch because there's no water left in the engine. So we are going to be doing that next, but before that I wanted to give a second year owner review and kind of go over everything that we've done so far. Last winter we did flooring, we did speakers, we did some different stuff, we did our adjustable poles this year. So we've done a lot to it, but the question is how did it hold up? Now we did have a couple things in the interior go wrong, so we'll talk about those. We'll talk about some rewiring and go over everything in general. Alrighty guys, so the first thing I'm going to talk about is the seating. Once again, last year we brushed up on how well these seats were made, would they hold up, and after the second year I'm happy to say they are not worn down at all. They've maintained their shape. We have no stretching on any of the seams, and everything is stitched, nothing is ripped, nothing is stained. They're very good seats for the quality of what they are, especially since we put them in and out so much because there's storage under every seat. This is the captain's chair, this is the main seat, and it obviously gets the most use. And as you can tell, it's in great condition still. The rear seat that goes over the batteries, that's where we're going to walk in and out, and truly I'll spin the camera around, I'll show you, everything looks great and I'm pretty impressed with it. Alrighty, so the second thing we're going to talk about is overall interior. Nick scratches, we have 0 on the inside whatsoever. Everything on the gauge cluster still works perfect, all the lights still work perfect. Now one of the things I did mention is that there was 2 things that did go wrong. One is we redid the wiring for the 12 volt because we tied it into the new speaker system, which is currently out. We'll talk about that in a minute. But the second thing that went wrong is we left the boat uncovered, towing down the highway. Everybody knows that we have certain seats like the back cushion and one of the middle back cushions that you need to take those out in order to tow. That's going to be a separate video, and if anybody else wants to see it of which seats I take out and I don't take out, whether there's a cover on or cover off, just let me know down in the comments. But besides the wiring and rewiring everything, we did lose a cup holder. I have no clue how we lost a cup holder, but it was the captain's position cup holder. I'm not sure, we were passing an 18-wheeler, maybe the wind changed, somehow it sucked the cup holder out. Best news is that Bass Pro does sell them, so we were able to go pick it up for $4 or $5 and it fit flawlessly. If you do not want that to happen to you, I highly recommend putting some super glue around the bottom. I think they're glued from the factory, but not very well, so maybe that's why it came out. Not a big deal. Bass Pro has them, identical and super cheap. I really like the flooring. I love it. I fell in love with it this year. It was a great investment. So anybody who does not have flooring, make sure you go check out my flooring video. I'll link it up top and all their information will be down below. It stood up very well. It took a beating, but I love these extra pieces. They really accent the boat. We get tons and tons of comments, and I think the floor really makes it stand out. We have one on each corner. We do have some stains on the floor from all the rain we got on the previous trip, and we do have a couple dirt spots on the floor. I'm going to go and make a separate video on that, so make sure you stay tuned. And we're going to be cleaning these floors, and we'll show you the process, we'll show you how it works, and we'll show you how a dirty floor can look new again. So that'll probably be the next video, or maybe after the winterization video, because we do need to get that done first. So other than that, the interior, awesome, held up well, did great, 0 complaints. Bimini was awesome. The new adjustable poles from Carver Industries, which we have worked with them a lot when it comes to the Bimini, with the support poles and the cover itself. Everything that they make, really good quality. The adjustable poles really took the Bimini to the next level. We could adjust up, down. It helped us with the wakeboards when it came to unloading and loading. So very happy with it. So now let's get outside the boat and we're going to talk about some things around it and see if there were any issues. Alrighty guys, let's talk about the outside of this boat, and we're going to start with the trailer. Now the trailer did very well. Some people I saw this year having issues with the positioning of the axle. I have seen some people having a twisted axle. Of course, last year we had the leaf spring issue, which if you were affected, Bayliner sent out a letter to you to get that fixed by the dealer. I personally have had zero issues. We keep everything greased. We make sure everything is tight. All the lighting still works perfect. Now I do unplug my lighting before I get into the water. Spare tire position is still perfect. We ran into zero issues. We also added the bow plates, which helped a lot with scratches from that roller. So if you didn't see the bow plate install, I'll put it up top here somewhere as well, and you can check that out. Alrighty guys, so now for the boat itself, once again, we ran into zero issues. We make sure to clean this thing top and bottom after every single use, so I make sure I check for any scratches, any cracks, or anything that's out of the ordinary. We did have issues with some of the rub rail splitting last year. This year, nothing. Everything worked out great. The new support poles, as I mentioned a minute ago, worked out great. We did a ton of wakeboarding this year, and it really worked out great. Now, the speaker issue. Speakers are gone. We did have trouble with one of the speakers, and I'll get into that on another more in-depth video because we did some things to a speaker. I'll talk about how the company responded to our issues, but I couldn't leave one speaker up and one down because it just looks awkward. So I did pull them both out, as well as the amp. If I do put them back on, it's definitely going to be this winter sometime. Already back here at the motor, we planned on getting the Vessel View mobile this year, but we just never got around to it. We still do not know the exact hours on this motor, but we do run it a lot, and I'm happy to say once again that we have zero issues with the motor. Proper maintenance, proper care, and we are going to be getting more in depth with that on the winterization video, so make sure you stay tuned. But 75 horse Merc, you have to have it. If you didn't see the last year owner review, wakeboard towers and 75 horse motors are an absolute must on this boat, and in addition, your trim tabs. Now, some people were asking about the, this is a shark fin or whatever it is that goes on the motor. I cannot attest to those. I've had them on previous boats, but they were an inboard, not an outboard with this hull design. So trim tabs, super cheap option, and I've had some guys put them on and they love them just as much as I do. Alrighty, so talking about the flooring again, this is the most highly used portion of the boat as you're getting in the water and you're getting out of the water. And as you can tell, the flooring did phenomenal. We have zero flooring coming up on the edges anywhere on the boat, which is awesome because I was really wanting to see how it would stand up. These get really wet when we're in the back and we're stopping and going because the water splashes up, and they did really well. Nothing is sunk in. Alright, so overall everything went really well with the boat this year. We had a blast with it. As everybody knows in one of the previous videos, the boat is for sale. It's not listed anywhere, but it is for sale. Not a lot of interest because it is about to be winter. It's currently 49 degrees here. So next spring we'll be probably posting this up for sale. And if it sells, great. If it doesn't, it's no biggie. We may end up keeping it. We really do enjoy the boat. The best part is, obviously, it fits into a garage, which is huge for us, as we do not want to put it in a marina. We do not want to put it into storage. So home use, trailering it to the lake. We did a ton of towing with the cover this year because of the rain and the storms, and it did phenomenal. Stay tuned for the next videos to come. Winterization will be next here in a couple weeks. Then we're going to be talking about the floor, cleaning the floors. We have the speaker recap, and I can kind of go over more in depth with what they responded with. But I do have two working speakers and everything. I just have to be able to put it in. And if anybody has any questions, comments, let me know down below. I'll answer them. More than happy. We've had a lot of time with this boat, so we really do know it pretty well. And overall, 2 thumbs ups. But we're going to leave it here. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. Don't miss another video. Tons more to come. See you later.